Welcome back, YouTube. It's Jafer, and today I got something really exciting for you. I know I say that a lot, but this is something that just kind of came out of left field, and that's going to be the HyperX Pulsefire Haste. Now, HyperX they've been around for a while now, and they've had an assortment of different mice, but nothing that's ever remotely struck us as competitive. And now they've entered the lightweight game, and it's pretty awesome. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so the HyperX Pulsefire Haste is going to run you only $49.99, a super competitively priced mouse in its mid-tier range. It works out of the box for your PC, PlayStation 4, or Xbox One without any software required. You do have the option to download the HyperX Ingenuity software. I will state it is rather basic. You can change your one RGB option on the mouse. You can change your DPI settings. Default, you're going to have 400, 800, 1600, or 3200. So you can fully adjust that in 200 increments. And then, of course, your polling rate, which default out of the box is going to be 1000. The mouse itself is the first entry from HyperX of its lightweight design. So it's going to have your standard hexagon cutouts, which is really nice, as it only brings it to 59 grams, which is absolutely awesome given its shape. It doesn't sacrifice on structure or durability at all, because this guy is definitely solid with its textured surface. It reminds me of a PBT keycap. So hopefully we'll see in due time how long that will last with this rigid texture. And it's very, very comfortable. But of course, as you saw in the unboxing, you do have the option to add the grips on the side or in mouse 1 and 2. I do feel some folks might be using the grips on mouse 1 and 2 depending on your grip style, because of the hexagon holes being on the buttons themselves. It's very common to see that in a lightweight mouse. I'm not a big fan of it. I do wish more companies would leave mouse 1 and 2 as a solid piece of plastic, but I didn't necessarily have any issues when I was holding it in any palm, fingertip, or grip style. And my hand is 19 by 10. The actual mouse itself is 124 millimeters long. I measured it at right around 60 millimeters at the grip, 66 and a half or so at the flare out on the back. And then we are looking at a 38 millimeter in height. So it's a very safe design because of the hump being toward the middle. There's nothing aggressive at the front or back. It slopes off very safely for almost any hand size. So with it being very similar to the Zowie FK series, I think that this mouse is going to be accustomed to a lot of folks, no matter your hand size or your grip type. Now, under the hood, we're going to have TTC golden micro switches that are rated for 60 million clicks, and they are dustproof as well. A lot of folks seem to have this great concern of sweat and dust building up in their mouse, and trust me, as a guy from Arizona, that was a concern that I had 2 years ago when the trend was really kind of taken off from Final Mouse. It's not an issue. It's really not going to be a concern. Either way, you can just take some canned air and clean anything out. But HyperX has you protected with those dustproof switches. We have some PTFE feet as well, and they're going to be big jelly beans at the corners here. They offer terrific glide, and that glide pairs well with the fact that not only is the mouse really, really light, but also because the paracord itself is absolutely fantastic. Looking at something like the XM1 here, we are looking at almost like the gold standard of your stock paracord, and HyperX really knocked it out of the park with this. And sometimes with most paracords, like this is the XM1, you can kind of feel it stretching like a shoelace a little bit, some excess material to protect the insulation of the cables. This is very, very tightly wound or weaved, and it's a great cable. You can still have the option, of course, to paracord, because if you notice also in the unboxing, it did come with additional feet and Lethal Gaming Gear is going to be your go-to option for that, as they did already receive their mouse and they've already been working on a 3D printed stress relief if you're looking for a different paracord option. Now, one of the things that I believe makes this affordable and allows HyperX to sell it at $49.99 is going to be the sensor itself. It does use a PixArt 3335. I feel like a lot of folks are going to get hung up on the PixArt 3335 sensor that's included in this mouse, and it's really just a low-powered version of the 3360, which is commonly found in wireless mice, such as the Ponage Ultra Custom, which is a fantastic mouse in itself. Don't let the numbers fool you because of it being a lower number than the 3389 that we're all accustomed to. It is a great sensor as far as HyperX not including it. Maybe it's just, they wanted to keep it competitively priced among everything, but I didn't have any liftoff distance issues, and there was zero tracking issues on my hybrid surfaces, my cloth surfaces, even a hard surface. All right, and with mouse 1 and 2, you're going to notice there's going to be very, very minimal pre-travel, which is really nice. There is a little bit of post-travel, but nothing of any real concern. And you do have a little bit of sway back and forth, but this is also things that I don't notice when I'm gaming. It didn't impede on my ability with aiming down sights or anything like that. And because of the design, it's rather walled off. The mouse 1 and 2, while they do drift a little bit, they are not going to go anywhere and crash course into other components of the shell itself. Let's go ahead and give you a sound test on those now. Alright guys, Candid Jafer here, and I gotta say, when I posted the video originally the other day in regards to the issue I had with the weird whistling you might have heard in that sound test, HyperX was super proactive and they approached me and asked me about it because I bought my copy. This wasn't sent to me in any way, and they're sending me another copy because they believe that that weird whistle when you accelerate really fast on that scroll wheel is isolated, and they want to make sure that it's taken care of. And big props to HyperX on that. That is some awesome customer service, and I feel like it should have been mentioned. And the structure on the Haste is definitely something that I would expect more out of, say, a $100 mouse, but at $50, it's absolutely insane how well built this guy is. Not only with the actual surface itself being textured and already in and of its own something that I wish more mice would do, but there's no flexing, no creaking whatsoever. There's no wiggle or play within the scroll wheel itself. Everything is absolutely solid. The actual side buttons have very minimal pre-travel, and it's just a very well-built mouse. There's really no concerns that I have with it other than maybe, and I'm being picky here, if they eliminated the holes on mouse 1 and 2, so that way those that might have smaller hands or those that might actually fingertip or claw more at the front of the buttons themselves, they wouldn't have to run into that. Now granted, you can kind of avoid those holes by just making sure your fingers are always centered with the scroll wheel, or simply just go ahead and add the grip tape that does come with it. And the grip tape itself is extremely grippy, and I say that because we've run into other types of tape that does come with the mouse, or you can buy separately, that you can feel that it is a rubber compound, but it just doesn't have any grippiness to it. This definitely feels like something that I would put on a baseball bat or on a hockey stick, so it's definitely going to do its job if you were to apply this on your mouse itself. All right, guys, to give you the full experience, I went ahead and added the grip tape. It was super easy to apply, and it is very flexible, so if you need to reapply it, you can peel it right off and reposition it as needed. It definitely does seem like it might help me. I'm not someone that does use grip tape often, but I will definitely give you guys some feedback later on after I've used this for some time. All right, guys, so that's it from me. All in all, I think HyperX did a bang-up job on this Pulsefire Haste at a $49.99 price tag. This is an excellent mid-tier mouse, and I think it's a precursor to what's to come. The engineers and designers over at HyperX are definitely working on something big, as they always seem to do really well with all of their line of products. And hopefully we'll see this being the result of something even greater down the line. Until next time, that's it from me. You stay safe out there, folks. Thank you now.